Hi, welcome to Vast Yoga. My name's Katie, and this is Lee and Becky, and these classes are being recorded for continuing students. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. And today we're just gonna get started with your head on the bolster laying down flat. Before you lay down, you might make sure that you have sandbags, if you have those, a strap, a bolster, and if you use blocks during your Sukhasana, you can also have those nearby. So just lay down flat and have your head supported on the bolster. Make sure that your shoulders can relax toward the floor so they're not supported by the bolster. And you can start with your arms just resting in any comfortable position. Take a few breaths into your belly. Try to feel your belly rise as you inhale and soften as you exhale. And then you can choose today if you'd like to interlock your hands either under the bolster or just under your head. If you're going under the bolster, think about swooping your arms around and interlocking underneath. And if you're interlocking under your head, just make sure that your hands are under the biggest part of your skull. And then notice your breath again moving from your belly up to the top of your lungs. Allow your breath to gently make space toward the top of your inhalation and allow your exhalation to feel easy. And then lift your chin a little bit to open the front of your throat and turn your head to the right. Try to twist your neck in line with your spine and point your nose slightly toward your elbow. Good. After you've made that effort, let go of any effort you can. Even if it feels like your neck is going to untwist, back to the center. And then just put your mind on your breath. Bring your mind into this practice today, noticing your breath inside the pose. Every time you exhale, allow your ribs to drop down, your belly to feel soft. And then slowly turn your head back to the center. Change the interlock of your fingers. Take a breath. And then turn to the second side. Twist until you feel the end of that movement. And then just relax any effort you can. Let your breath move. Take a moment to notice the change in the pace to your breath, your thoughts. And just send that message to yourself that it's time for a different sort of work. Okay, you can slowly now turn your head back to the center. Gently release your hands, let your shoulders feel broad. Relax your arms down by your sides for a moment. Think about the tips of your shoulders feeling heavy, your collarbone feeling broad. And then bend your knees. And I'd like you to move away from your bolster so that you have room to extend your arms either under the bolster or on top of the bolster. So just move away toward the center of the room. And then lay with the knees bent, feet on the floor again. And with your arms relaxed again, take a big breath into your belly. Let your belly fill up and your whole torso. And then make your mouth into a small straw-like opening. And blow your breath out in a long, slow, steady exhalation. As you get toward the bottom of that exhalation, let your ribs release down. Feel the closure between the front ribs and your hips. And let your back feel grounded. And then try to keep your front ribs sort of pinned down like this, your back resting on the floor, and stretch your arms back in line with your shoulders. You can have your hands on top or underneath the bolster. Does that feel wide enough, Lee? Good. And then just open your fingers, spread your hands so that your fingers are far apart from each other, and try to fully extend your elbows. And then again, as you breathe, try to let your front ribs drop down as you exhale. Press your back onto the floor. Try to use your core a little bit more. And then keep your arms active and your ribs down. And see if you can just gently extend your right leg up toward the ceiling. Stretch the back of the knee open and flex your foot. Reach through your heel. Think about making the back of your leg longer. Use your core to stabilize your hips. And then breathe. Even though you're doing this core work, make your legs strong, your breath move. And then gently put that foot down. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, let your front ribs drop down. Try to feel your core moving toward the floor. Feel stable in your abs, and then extend your left leg up. Full knee extension, and then flex your right foot. Try to use all the muscles in that leg. Make your thigh very strong. Good. As you exhale, try to firm your core a little bit more. Navel down. Reach through your heel. Relax your neck. And then gently put that foot back down on the floor. Take a deep breath. Let your exhalation feel easy. And then keep reaching your arms, open your fingers, turn your head to the right once more. Make sure your nose is pointed a little bit away from your shoulder. And after you've made that turn, just relax the effort and notice the difference between the sensation the last time you turned your head and this time. Usually stronger sensation this time on the underside of the neck. And then let your front ribs close as you exhale and use your core and extend your right leg up again. Flex your foot, make your legs strong. Open your fingers, but relax your face. And then notice the level of your hips. Keep your legs strong and see if you can move your foot a little closer to your right shoulder, just a tiny change. You might get a little cramp in the front of your thigh. Just be gentle with yourself. Keep it stable. And then gently put that foot down. Take a deep breath. Feel your core. Keep your head turned to the right. And extend your left leg up. Find an angle you can fully extend the knee. Flex the foot. Try to feel the stability in your hips, in your core. Open your fingers. And then a very small change, just move your foot a couple inches closer to your left shoulder. So more to the shoulder than out to the side. Just a little bit this way. Good, super strong leg. Very good. And then gently put that foot down. Turn your head back to the center. Take a deep breath. After your exhalation, turn your head to the left, twist your neck. Try to put your cheek on the floor if you can, but then relax the effort of the twist. Feel your core, let your front ribs drop down. Think about closing the space between the front of your ribs and your hips. And then once more, extend your left leg up. This time, you're gonna point your toe into a fist. Try to firm up your core. Stretch your elbows. Relax your face. Make your thigh a little bit stronger, knee a little bit straighter, and move your foot just a couple inches lower. Stabilize your core. Breathe, and then flex your foot. Reach through your heel. Good, and then put your foot back down on the floor. Keep your head turned to the left. Breathe and let your front ribs release down. And then extend your right leg up. Last one. Full knee extension. Point your toe into a fist. Try to make your foot cramp. See if you can move your big toe a little bit more. Curve the sole of your foot. And then just go right through that sensation and see if you can move your foot a little bit lower without letting your hips shift. Strong thigh, strong pointing, elbows extended. Good, and then flex your foot. Release your foot down to the floor. And then very gently turn your head back to the center. And respecting the depth of the work to your shoulders during this sequence, try to gently bend your elbows and let your arms come down by your side. Let your collarbone feel broad. Let your arms relax. And then bring your feet closer to your hips. Put the soles of your feet together. Let your knees fall to the sides. You can let your abs just relax right now, unless you're someone who, when you do that, you get big sensation in your lumbar spine. If you're that person, you can either choose to place some blocks underneath your knees, or you can use your core and zip up your pants to move your navel down to control that sensation. So can you let your legs fall here? Okay, Becky? Good. Try to let your breath move from the bottom of your belly all the way up to the top of your lungs. Let your ribs release as you exhale and be very gentle with your breath. Try to feel your breath hit the bottom of your pelvic floor and all the way up to your collarbone. Relax your thighs. Every time you exhale, let yourself feel a little bit softer, a little less effort. Good. You can lift your knees to stand your feet on the floor. Take a breath, and then you can roll to your side and support your head with the bolster. Let's have you rest on your right side. And then with your head supported, try to just line up from the top of your head to your tail. Try to make your spine feel like it's aligned. And then your knees can be bent and stacked slightly in front of you. Breathe into your back. And then place your hands in front of you with your palms together. Extend your arms forward. Feel the stack of your hips and your knees, and have your hands be slightly under your line of vision, so they come straight out from your chest instead of from your eyes. And then keep your bottom hand where it is, and you're gonna bring your top arm up and over like you're opening a book. As that arm moves over, you can just find any space that feels good for it to hang, but try to feel like it's coming from the collarbone and letting the upper back twist without letting your lumbar spine twist. Very good. And then just breathe into that tight upper chest. Relax the effort. Very good. And then you can gently bring that arm back up and over, close the book, repose for a moment, feel from your head to your tail, stack your shoulders and your hips. And then this time, have an awareness of your front ribs staying back and your navel staying back, and then bring that top arm up and over again. Let your upper back twist with the movement. Try to feel the reach of your arm coming from the opposite hand all the way across the collarbone. And then this time you get to turn your head toward the ceiling. Don't let your knees come apart. Keep your hips stacked. Breathe. Very good. And then slowly close your arms back up and over. Take a breath, relax your arms, and then roll over onto your second side. Make sure you line up from your head to your tail. Stack your shoulders and your hips and your knees. And then place your hands out in front of you, palms together. Try to relax your shoulders away from your ears once. Good. And then keep your bottom arm where it is and just gently open the book. Top arm goes up and over. Try to find an angle that you can let the arm hang without feeling it sort of break right at the shoulder, so it feels connected to your collarbone. Very good. Breathe. Does it feel okay? Just tight. Breath all the way up to the corner of your lungs, corner of your chest. And then very gently move that arm back up, close the book. Breathe into your back ribs. Relax your shoulders a little away from your ears. Keep your hips stacked, and then top arm goes up and over like you're opening a book. Big arc. This time let your head come with the twist, but try to not let your lumbar spine move. So you're keeping your hips stacked. Very good. Letting your upper back twist. Breathe. Good. And then slowly bring that arm back up and over. Relax the effort. Breathe. And then you can roll onto your back. And I'd like you to lay with your knees bent and your feet on the floor. And then you're going to move your bolster from being under your head to being underneath your hips. So you can just do a little bridge pose and slide the bolster underneath and then put your hips down. And once you get there, make sure you have plenty of room for your head above your head before the wall. Looks good, Lee. And so that you can gently slide a little bit off of the bolster but not hit your head. And then I'd like you to feel like your lumbar spine can sink down toward the floor. So you're not supporting the pelvis so high that you're arching your back, but instead it should feel like your lumbar spine and your low belly get to sink toward the floor. Feel okay? And then just relax your arms. You can have your palms face up by your sides or rest them on your belly. As you sit here, or lay here, excuse me, try to feel like the organs below your belly button are sort of sinking down toward the floor, everything's softening. And just allow your lumbar spine to sort of curve passively toward the floor. Try not to be gripping in your groins. Let your knees and your feet and your hips feel aligned. You guys look great. And you should feel pressure from the floor across your upper back, across your shoulder girdle. Relax your shoulders, but feel that pressure from the floor. Good, and then maintain this position, and you're just gonna grab your strap, and I'd like you to unfurl your strap, and you're gonna place it today across the base of your right toes. So just extend your leg up with the strap across the base of the toes, and then make sure you can hold the strap with straight arms. You feel okay? If you feel like you slide off the bolster, you can just put your foot down and readjust. It should feel like your pelvis is supported and your lumbar can sink. And then make sure the strap is across the big toe ball and the pinky toe ball, and hold the strap with straight arms. How's this feel, Becky? Let's go a little bit higher for you. Walk your hands just one. Good. Try to feel like your arms are extensions of the strap, so they're just passively pulled like traction. The shoulder blades moving a little bit off the floor, or shoulder tips at least. But then the weight of your arms and the strap are pulling your toes down, passively flexing your foot. Just keep it for a moment and breathe. Try to let the front of your neck feel open. Very good. And then I'd like you to add a little bit of pressure to the thigh. Think about extending the knee. You don't have to add any work to the foot, so the foot is still relaxed, but just being flexed by the strap. Keep your thigh active and your hip pressing the bolster, and then use your arms to move your foot a little bit up and across toward your left shoulder. You can bend your elbow slightly to move the leg and then walk your hands up. Find an angle that you can keep the pressure into the bolster and your shoulders relaxed. How's it feel? Good. Try to let the strap help the pinky side and the big toe side flex, and relax your shoulders. You should feel a lot in your sciatic going down the side of your leg. Breathe from your belly up to the top of your lungs. Try to let the sciatic open and let your belly keep releasing toward the floor even though your leg is active. So the thigh is pressing away from the groin, away from your face, but your belly is sinking toward the floor. Good, and then slowly move your foot back in line with your hip. Hold the strap with straight arms and repose there for a moment. Feel the pressure from the strap pressing your hip onto the bolster. Let your belly feel soft. And then add a little bit of work to the foot from inside. Pull the toes down with your shin and with the strap. Very good. And then you can gently release the strap, put the foot back down on the floor, rest your hands to the sides. If you need to repose, you can press your feet to lift your hips and make sure you're still well grounded on the bolster. And then just let the blood come back to your fingers, relax your shoulders. Let your belly feel soft as you exhale. Good. Okay, let's do the second side. Place the strap across the base of your left toes. Good. Extend your leg up. Make sure the strap is across the big toe ball and the pinky toe ball. And then hold the strap with straight arms and let your arms be pulled by the weight of your leg. If your hands are tired or arthritic today, and you need to wrap your hands, you can use your other hand to pick up the bottom of the strap and wrap it across the back of your hand. And then hold the end of the strap in your hand. If you can suffer through the pain in your fingers, then do it, right? Try to build up the strength there. Good, let your belly feel soft, but your thigh now starts to work a little bit. Think about straightening your knee, relaxing your toes. Feel the pressure against your upper back on the floor. Good. And then keep the knee straight and the foot flexed, and you're just gonna move it with the strap a little bit up and across. Just try to find an angle that you can find some sciatic work, And once you find that angle, walk your hands up. Good. Relax your shoulders. Breathe. Use the strap to feel more flexion in your foot and to feel your hip pressing the bolster. Let your belly feel soft, sinking toward the floor. All along the side of the leg. Relax your shoulders. Good, and then take your foot back in line with your hip. Straighten your knee again. This time add a little bit of flexion from the foot. So the strap and the foot, making the ankle fold. Breathe. Good, and then gently release the strap. Place your foot back down on the floor. Move the strap to the side. Good job. Take a breath into your belly, let it fill up. As you exhale, emphasize that movement of the navel moving down. Zip up your pants a little bit. And then I'd like you to press your feet down to feel the pressure from your heels up into your glutes. Try to engage your glutes by pressing down your feet. Keep your core a little bit active so your navel's moving down. Lift your hips up off the bolster. Use your hands to move the bolster toward your feet a little bit. Relax your shoulders. Lower your hips halfway. Let your whole torso be on the floor. And then all the way down with your hips. Very good. And then just roll to your side and take a pause. You can move the bolster underneath your head. Just take a little break once more with your knees stacked and your hips stacked. Breathe into your back. Let go of all the effort. Try to feel your back ribs moving. Good. Okay, and then you can roll more and sit up. And you're gonna sit now on your bolster with your legs crossed. If you're someone who, when they sit on the bolster, go ahead and sit up. If you have thighs that release really far down and it's hard for you to stay on the bolster, today you can use blocks under your knees if you choose. You can also sit on the floor if you're someone who always sits on the floor. And then I'd like you to grab your sandbags if you have them. And today you're gonna place your sandbags on your hips. To do that, place them very close to your groins. So you can flatten the sand out some and then place it as deep into your groin as you can, as close to your hip. Good. And then just take a breath and make sure you feel grounded. Let your lumbar spine sink a little bit backwards. Feel that same movement that you had when it was hanging from the bolster. Just slightly, shoulders relaxed. And then head first, curve forward. Let your head feel heavy. Let your shoulders relax. Keep your hips grounded on the bolster. Good. Let your head hang. And then see if you can relax your shoulders away from your ears and just feel like your head is hanging like a ripe mango, right, Lee? Feel your breath all along your spine. And the sandbags coming into your belly help you feel more pressure in your lumbar, starting to let the curve happen lower for those of you with really stiff lower backs. So try to just passively let that curve happen, but make sure you feel grounded in your sit bones. If you're falling off the bolster, walk your hands backwards, use your core a little bit. Good, and then you're gonna walk your spine and your hands to the right, line your head up with your right thigh and place your right hand next to the bolster or on the bolster by your hip, the fingers pointing forward. And we're gonna start today with the left arm relaxed and just let your spine hang in line with that knee. Try to let both sides of your lumbar spine feel long, especially the right side that you're going toward. And then you're gonna try and twist your spine a little bit. You can lift your right shoulder an inch or two up, let your left shoulder drop down, and then try to feel the middle of your back, the middle of your spine, and twist your ribs more. Left ribs move toward your right thigh, ribs move away from the thigh. Twist, and then let your head drop. So instead of looking to the side, just let it hang. Very good. Good. A little bit more in the middle of your back. Breathe, even though it's difficult sometimes to find a space for your breath in this pose. And then gently walk your hands back to the middle. Relax your arms, your hands, your jaw. Good, and then walk your hands to the second side. If you're someone that's very mobile in terms of your forward mobility, make sure that you come back enough in your curve that you feel grounded in your hips. And then place your left hand next to your left hip and use that to help stabilize the pressure into your right sit bone. It's important that you feel even pressure there. And then just relax your right arm. Let your head feel heavy. And then use your arms at first to help you twist a little more. Left shoulder slightly up, right shoulder slightly down. Try to relax any extra effort you can. Just try to twist from your spine. Let your head feel heavy. Drop your head. And then feel your ribs more. Try to feel your right ribs move down, your left ribs move up. Twist. Very good. Breathe. Try to feel like you're twisting away from your right hip, that's your anchor. And then gently walk your hands back to the center. Relax the effort. Uncoil, walk your hands back and sit all the way up. Good. Roll your shoulders back once. Let your shoulders relax down. Take a big breath. Fill yourself up with breath. Very good. And then change the cross of your legs. Good. Once you get your legs crossed again, make sure that your legs are a little bit square, right? Your inside knee is almost 90 degrees. Your feet are almost in line with the opposite knee. And then make sure your sandbags are really close to your groins so they help you feel grounded in your hips. And then relax your thighs, relax your shoulders. Keep the weight in your sit bones and head first, curve forward. Head, shoulders, neck relaxed. Good. Try to let your shoulders release away from your ears, down your back. You can have your arms forward or to the sides. Good. Just a little less here. Breathe. Feel the curve of your spine and let your breath touch every single vertebrae from the bottom up to the top. Heavy head. And then keep your head hanging and walk your hands first this time to the left. Try to get your head in line with your left thigh. Place your left hand next to your hip, either on the floor or on the bolster. Use that to stabilize the weight across and try to feel long in both sides of your torso. Lumbar spine lengthened a little bit, but still curving. Good. And then you're gonna this time start the twist a little bit. Think about it coming from your core. Your ribs moving more first, left ribs up and away, right ribs down. And then take your right hand and just slide it out so that it's parallel to your left thigh, out toward the corner of your mat in front of you. Try to feel that reach coming from your right hip. So you're grounded in the right hip, but then stretching that arm forward. The whole right side body opening. Good. And then just make sure that you relax your trapezius as best you can. Looks good, guys. Big breath. Shoulder away from the ear, but stretch your arm. And then see if you can twist your navel a little bit more. Relax your shoulder down toward the floor. Breathe. Good. And then gently walk your hands back to the center. Relax the effort forward for a moment. Let your shoulders relax. Your head feel heavy. Good. Breathe. And then last side, gently walk your hands to the right. Place your right hand next to your hip. Use that to help stabilize your weight across. And then start by thinking, are both sides of my lumbar spine lengthening a little, curving toward the right knee? And then use your ribs to help twist. Try to feel like your right ribs lift, your left ribs sink down toward your inner right thigh. Keep your head hanging. And then place your left hand on the floor and slide your left hand out in line with your right thigh. Can be toward the right edge of your mat. Try to feel the whole left side body opening. Feel from your hip out through your fingertips. Stretch that arm forward. And then make sure that your shoulder's a little bit away from your ear and stretch the arm a little bit more. Open your fingers. Very good. Breathe. See if you can twist a little bit more with your navel. Stretch. Heavy head. And then gently walk your hands back to the center. Release the effort. Let your shoulders relax. Good. And then you can uncoil and sit up. Roll your shoulders back. Take a deep breath. Release your sandbags to the side. And then you're going to come up to kneeling. I'd like you to kneel today in Virasana with your knees as wide as the sticky mat. You can turn your bolster 90 degrees. And if your bolster isn't enough height for you to kneel, you can always build it up. But before you sit back, make sure your knees are placed there, and you're going to use your hands to turn your feet so that your toes point in and your heels point out. Let me give you a blanket instead today. And then just start with your knees as wide as the sticky mat. And then I'm going to use my hands to help. So when you adjust your feet, you can use your hands to pull the toes to point towards each other. And as you sit back, there should be pressure, just a moment, on the outside of your ankles. See if that's enough. Can you do it? Good. You can sit all the way on the floor or have a little bit of support. How is it, Lee? Good. And then just close your eyes. Feel your sit bones. Use your breath to feel the easiest way to hold your torso. You can think about, let's have everybody roll your shoulders back once, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then let your elbows feel heavy. Let go of any effort you can and just sit with your spine aligned, your head back in line with your spine. Try to feel your breath in your back body, in your armpits. Let your ankles open, your knees compress. Let your breath support you. Very good. Try to let this pose help you reorganize your spine. Feel your hips, the top of your head, your breath. Good. And then you can gently release that to the side and then go ahead and lay down for Shavasana. You can move everything off of your mat except for a bolster to go underneath your thighs, close to your knees. If you need something underneath your head, you can have a blanket or another bolster. Make sure the bolster is a little bit toward your hips above your knees so that your knees can bend over the bolster and your belly can feel soft, hips grounded. And then you can find any comfortable place you'd like for your arms, either on your belly or just resting out to the sides, palms face up. So Becky, I'm gonna move the bolster under your thighs if that's okay. You can bend your knees. Let them go over that, see how it feels. Let's move this a little bit more. Here we go, try that. Take a few breaths into your belly. Every time you exhale, imagine letting your belly feel softer, your thighs relax more. You can swallow to soften your throat. Let your tongue rest. Let your mouth feel so soft. Let go of your cheeks, your jaw, your lips. Let your eyes feel heavy. Imagine the surface of your eyes sinking away from the lid. And if your eyes feel hard or busy today, you can just gently stare through your lids until they learn to quiet and soften. Let your brain release. And let the center of your forehead drop down toward your brain, toward the earth. And just let all expression melt. And then just let your awareness sink deeper and deeper. Use your breath to be present in this vast, open, easy space. Take a deeper breath. Let your exhalation be long. And then start to gently bring your awareness back toward your skin. You can wiggle your fingers and toes. Rock your head. Start to move and stretch your body like you're waking up. Stretch your arms and legs. And then when you're ready, you can bend your knees. Roll to your side. Move the bolster so you can stack your knees, your hips, and then you can support your head either with your arm or a pillow. Breathe into your back. Imagine waking up your back body. And then roll more and use your top arm to help you so you can come up head last. Come up to a comfortable seat. You can sit on your bolster or on the floor, any comfortable way for your legs. Just find a way to sit tall. Roll your shoulders back once, let your elbows feel heavy. Take your head back in line with your spine, your navel slightly back. And then draw your hands up in front of your lifted heart. Gentle, even pressure between every finger, every knuckle. Breathe and fill yourself up. Connect yourself with your breath. You can imagine filling yourself with energy, with intention. With an exhalation, let your head bow. Let your ego drop. Bathe your awareness in loving kindness. And from that lens, find a reason for gratitude today and let it fill your heart. Send out some warm, loving energy. Pray that all beings can live free of suffering. Pray for more joy, more harmony. And then close your practice today and feel gratitude for your practice and always for your body and your mind and your breath. Namaste. Thank you all. Have a great day.